Uh, Thank you so much for inviting me. I am Shana Blackshire. I work in ITS training. What we're going to take a look at today is a list of links, mainly resources where students can get technical help for all kinds of things at the university, how to connect to the Wi-Fi, how to get help with your passwords, how to find software, and particularly where you can find free or discounted versions of software for your academic use at the university. What we will be talking about today briefly is we'll look at IT student resources. So we do have a list of links and information specific for students, how to use and where to find the WVU Help Center, our service desk, which is our call center. You can call in the help desk and they will help you figure out your problem if you don't already know what you're looking for. We'll take a quick look at a list of software that you can download either for free or discounted pricing, and then I'll briefly mention a few things about eCampus training and assistance. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this PowerPoint, and I have a document here. Let me just zoom in on that a bit so we can see it a little better. And I'll share the PDF, or you can obtain the PDF later. But so on the resources page, if you were to open this link, this will take you to our student resources page. This is at it.wvu.edu. And if you click on the student resources link from our main page, it will take you here. There are lists of tech recommendations. So if you wanted a little bit of information about what laptop do I need to purchase for my program, I'm majoring in, X or Y, what is the optimal setup for computer technology that I might need for that major. So these lists will help you out with that. You can find help about setting username and password, how to log in with our two-factor authentication software. There are links here from where you can find more information about some of the free software, such as Microsoft Office, our antivirus software, and many other applications that you can find information about at the Software Licensing Center, or SLIC, as we call it. About your Mountaineer ID card, if you should ever need to get a new ID card, or if you have problems with your ID card, there are links where you can get assistance with that. For printing, for connecting to Wi-Fi and setting up your other devices. So you can use this My Devices if you want to set up things like your gaming systems. And then you can contact us for technology support. So if your question is not answered by any of those links above, you can contact us at the IT Help Center. There are also some walk-in service centers on campus. You can walk in and meet a real human being in person, and they will assist you with your tech issues there too. So that is on our main it.wvu.edu page. You can also find assistance by going to the IT Help Center, which is our web portal where you can either find answers for yourself. There is a search bar at the top of that page, and you can type in any topic and it will give you both articles, resources that you can just read information about that and learn a bit more about it. There are help guides and videos and links to other websites that will help you to educate yourself about the thing you have questions about. Or you can submit a service request. So if you have a specific problem, you need someone to change a setting or grant permission or reset something, you can submit a service request for those types of things, and it will go to that group and they will help you out with your problem. Also, we have an IT service desk of real human beings who are there to answer the phone and take your requests anytime you run into problems. If you don't find an answer by searching for yourself, or you don't know exactly what form to fill out, you don't quite know who to ask for things, If you go to the IT service desk, you can contact them either by clicking the link on the IT Help Center. You can also call them on the phone and talk to a real live human. You can send an email, and that will automatically generate a request in the system, and they will help you sort out your problem. And you will find all of those links here at it.wvu.edu/help. And again, you'll see this is hosted by Atlassian, but if I type in it.wvu.edu/help and hit enter in my browser, that's where I will land. You will need to log in to actually get the best use out of the IT Help Center. If you are not logged in, you will see a very limited number of articles. So you'll see at the top here, I have logged in with my own username and account, and you'll find a login link in the center of the page. So once you are logged in, then you will have access to all of our content, and you'll see some suggested topics. But if I search for something, say perhaps I'm interested in Microsoft Office, when I start to type in a topic, it'll give me suggested resources or request forms where I can request a specific thing I need help with, or click on a link that might give me information that I want to know about, like how do I download Microsoft Office for free? So there are links and information there. And again, you can contact the service desk. Let me go back to our main help center page. And here under IT support, if you just click on this WVU IT request, it will create a generic request that will go to the service desk. And they'll help you figure out whatever your question might be. In terms of software, there are two different groups of software applications that we'll talk about today. Students have free access to a number of different software suites or applications based on the university's purchase and pricing licenses for the university. You can see a complete list if you go to the software licensing page. Yeah, go ahead. In the knowledge base. So again, if you go to the it.wvu.edu/help, there is a software licensing page, and the Slick software request form will allow you to request access to the various software applications. Some of these are available for free, and some are do have a cost involved. So I have tried to separate them for you in this list so you can see which ones are free to you and which ones require some other arrangement. So Microsoft 365 is free to install on up to 5 different computers. Your personal computer, your laptop, you can have one at home and one at school, and so you can install that in multiple places for free as long as you're using your WVU account to do so. And Autodesk is another one. ChemDraw also allows you to install for free. MATLAB is used in quite a few of the math and science and engineering classes. That one is also free to install. Qualtrics is web-based. It is a survey tool that we have had licenses with for a number of years. You do have to put in a request to have your account activated, but it is free for all WVU people, including students, to use. And then finally, our virus protection, we're currently using Sophos as our virus protection, and you can download and install that for free on your home or school computers. And there is a link for installation instructions there too, where you can download that. And we strongly encourage everyone to please install and use some virus protection of some kind, because we like to try to keep our networks clean as much as possible. So those are the ones that are free, completely free. You don't have to pay anything. And then there are a number of other software applications that we do provide access to. They're just not necessarily free. You might have free access depending. Adobe Creative Cloud is not free, but many of the departments across the university have purchased licenses for their department or they have purchased a limited number of licenses to use in their computer lab at the department's location, or maybe for students to be able to use. So you might check with your department about that. There is also a discounted pricing for students or for educational purposes. So you can get a cheaper price from Adobe. AMOS is a visual modeling program that also has a discounted price for students. And there are several of these applications that are not free that might be available to use for free by a virtual desktop environment. So I have included a link here at the bottom of the PDF document that will take you to our page in the knowledge base about using that virtual environment. So you would need to install the Azure Virtual Desktop and set that up. But once you do, it will allow you to log in and have access to some of these other applications that the university has a single license for, but we don't have a campus-wide license for, but so you can still use it. So that includes Jump, is also available through the virtual desktop environment. Mathematica is not, but it can be purchased for $10 a month. It's pretty cheap. The SAS, I think, also is available via a virtual desktop environment. So everybody who does statistics needs to use SAS at some point, or SPSS, one or the other. And SPSS is another one that is, you can get a discounted student pricing to pay for a copy for yourself, but it is also available to use by that virtual desktop environment. And I would just say for any of these applications, if it's not one of the free ones, if you have some question about it, just check with your department. They might have licenses that you can use, or they might have a license for the department that they can share through some means. So just ask your department and see if they do have that information. And again, try the virtual desktop as a way to access it for free if you'd rather not have to pay for that. The other item I wanted to make sure to mention, as long as we're talking about stuff, is the ITS training does offer eCampus training for faculty. Every semester we do faculty training in August and in January for basic how to set up a course, how to do a lot of the teaching functions as an instructor in eCampus. So those live training sessions will be available on the WVU calendar. If you visit, we have not actually published the training dates yet for this year, but those should be up very soon. So we will be offering courses, training classes for faculty to be using eCampus. But in the knowledge base, you will find, let me see if it'll let me do that from here. There we go. If you go to the main eCampus topic in the knowledge base, you'll find tips for instructors and students and some links to other things in the knowledge base about eCampus. When you click the additional links, you will find everything under eCampus, which includes a list of quite a few links of various articles for students in eCampus, an introduction about using other tools within the system, how to best use some of the functionalities, and for faculty as well. So lots and lots of information about eCampus in the system. All right. So I will make sure to share the PDF so you can have all the links handy. And does anyone have any questions about tech support, software?
I do have a question. So if the free one, the software, we can just download it, right? But if the one with the license one, we have to submit a request. Or we
Mostly,
can download it right away.
So I've made this little list just so it's easier to see which ones are paid and which ones are free. If you are in the knowledge base here, the Software Licensing Center page gives you a list of each of the various applications. And when you go to that page for a specific application, it will give more detailed instructions about how to obtain this one. Because they're all different. So each page for each software application will have more clear details about who is eligible to use this software, how do you actually get a copy of it. So for example, Autodesk students can obtain for 36 months free of charge. So if you get 3 years of use by filling out the Slick form. And some of them you'll have to go to a web page and then put in your WVU email. Some of them you'll have to contact Slick and ask Slick to, allow you to download it from their server. So there are different arrangements depending on how we are paying the licensing fees usually. So, but if you just go to that software licensing page, there are links to each one.
To follow up, let's say that we graduated from WVU. I mean, for the licensing, it's easy. Like, okay, you pay for a year, and then after that, if you want to continue, it's fine. But how about the free one? Let's say the Microsoft 360. Like, how long do we
How
get
long does it last
access?
after?
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not entirely certain on that one, actually. I think, when you are no longer affiliated with the university, your university sponsored access officially is supposed to end. I don't know how long it takes before the system recognizes that. I will take a note on that one and get back to you.
But our email, we can only access our email 3 years after graduation, right?
Right. And the email is through Gmail at the moment. So that's a different system. So I will ask and see if I can get a more definitive answer on that for you, and I'll make sure to share that as soon as I can.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
I see
There.
that 2 other students have joined after you began. So I don't know if they have any questions or any expectations when they signed up for this workshop, and if you have heard or found answers through the presentation or however much presentation that you have heard just now. Please, we are a small group. Feel free to ask questions while Shana is here.
I am going ahead and sharing that PDF in the chat. So hopefully everyone should be able to get a copy of that. You can at least have the links handy that will take you to the IT Help Center. And just remember, you do need to log in there to be able to access the content in the Help Center. All right, you're quite welcome.
I think your department is one of the most responsive department ever that ever like contacted. Like there's always like quick, and then the solution is always there. If they cannot, they will like, follow up with you and stuff like that. So, and I like that your department is always like come up, hey, can you, answer some survey? So it's like a post-service quality assurance. So I think that's that's very, very good.
Well, thank you. That's wonderful to hear. I'm glad to know that your experiences with ITS have been at least responsive and prompt. So we try. Certainly. I know everyone always has complaints about, the technology for some reason, because it breaks, it happens, things happen. So, we most often hear from people when they have a complaint. All right. Well, thank you again very much for inviting me. Sorry, we kind of did the short version here, but so I'll share the information, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you need help with anything, don't forget that you can always go to the help center. You can log in there and submit a request. So if you know specifically what you're looking for, you can type that into the search bar and search for it, and it'll come up with some suggestions for you. You can always put in a generic request and just type a description into the box. Hey, I need help with XYZ, and they'll figure it out for you. They'll get it to the right person. So, all right.